And for us, we always took each child individually. We saw them as individuals, their personalities, their likes, their dislikes, their gifts. And that's why I think it's so important to make sure you make time for your kids individually. Dating them, taking them on a car ride, going for a walk, working out with them, running errands, whatever it may be, so that you can see the individuality of each child. Hello, everyone. We are Greg and Jacquie Francis, and welcome to High Performance Parenting, where our passionate goal is to encourage you to raise champion children in a crazy world. Every week, we will bring you multiple episodes from our extensive experience of raising our six happy, healthy, successful, godly kids who are confidently equipped to win big in life.
We deeply believe that any parent who is provided with the right knowledge and continual support can raise amazing kids. And when they do, all of our futures get better. If raising up future generations of absolute champions matters to you as much as it does to us, here's how you can contribute. Like and share this podcast with everyone you know. And together, let's embrace this journey of raising champion kids in a crazy world.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back. We are back here, and we are going on the next half of our family about why it's just so fun to be in the line and where we are in the line and how just God handpicked us to be where we are. So I'm Abby. There's also Bella, my twin here, Crissy, and my mom, and we're here to chat and have some fun.
Perfect. And I think we're just going to continue talking a little bit more. Drews and Ellie just did an awesome job talking about all the benefits and even debunking some of the silly, talk we've heard people say before about being in the younger half of a family, how it's no fun, or being kind of in the middle, it's no fun. But Crissy, you have a different perspective, don't you?
Yes, and I was just thinking about the last podcast, and they were talking about how they're always two peas in a pod.
Yeah.
And Drews is always there to protect Ellie. Ellie's always there to bring the fun. And I was just reminding myself of the story when we used to go to private Montessori school, and it was called Nature's Classroom. So we would always go on nature hikes, or for recess, we would always go in the woods for recess. So several times they would be playing, and then the teacher would call, time to come in, guys. And then Ellie would be like, Drews, because she would get lost in the woods, and somehow Drews just knew his way through the woods. So he would be back, and then she would be calling out for him because she got totally lost. So Drews would run back to her to the deep part of the woods and try to make it on time to not get in trouble by the teachers. And I think they pulled it off quite a few times. It was very, very sweet.
It just goes show all his protection for her. Yeah, I love that about that.
Yeah. So I have a quick question for you. I know my dad's normally in here to tell the dad jokes, but I have some daughter jokes today.
Oh, good. Okay, daughter jokes will probably be good.
How does a science teacher freshen her breath?
How?
With experiments.
Yes, I hope so. Yes.
I sure hope so, for sure.
Especially after lunch.
Yeah.
So, Chris, what do you think about where God placed you in our family?
I have always loved being the middle child. Well, one, because I love being an older sister to Drews, Ellie, and Hunter. It's so fun being able to carry that responsibility and be the example, and them look up to me and ask me questions and being able to answer them. While some people think, well, maybe you're just not paid attention to as the middle child. Maybe people don't listen to you, or you're just kind of forgotten because the youngest are kind of babied sometimes and the oldest are given responsibility. But I sure don't feel that way. I love the opportunity of being a younger and an older, being younger to my twin older sisters and being an older sister to my brother and two younger sisters. It's always such a joy being able to answer all their questions and just be there for them, but also be a younger sister to my older twin sisters. I love them going ahead into high school sports, for instance, before me, and I get a chance to, work through that. It's really fun.
Yeah, I think that you could probably go on and on. There's probably a few more on your list to enjoy, but what are, I kind of mentioned it with Drews, but what are some of the things that you've heard on why being in the middle would sting?
I was thinking about this, and I'm like, most other families probably think that as a middle child, you can be forgotten, or maybe your idea is not taken because you're not paid as much attention to. Maybe you receive less attention. Maybe in whatever sports or school, you don't feel like you can live up to the older siblings, but also, you're further along than the younger siblings. So you're just kind of in the mesh and almost forgotten. And I'm sure maybe middle children can feel left out or not paid attention to. But I really don't feel that way. It's also because of how, my parents have taken so much time to teach me this way of being a middle child is such a joy. Like I was just mentioning, being older and younger sister, I get all the different dynamics, and I love it.
I know. Typically, we'll be driving down the road maybe we're on our way to practice or church or something like that, and everybody's talking and having fun. And I can't tell you how many times Crissy will say, I love being the middle child.
Yeah.
Like literally, you must say it a couple times a week.
Yeah, I'm sure I do.
And she has since the beginning of time.
Yeah.
Like literally, she has enjoyed every aspect of being a middle child. Like she enjoys the fact that at any given time she can join her big sisters in any endeavor they're doing.
Yeah.
But then you can also decide to go play with the littles.
Yeah. And also I get, my older sister's friends to hang out with and my younger siblings' friends to hang out with. And another really funny thing is, our younger siblings have a room and there's a bed in there for Hunter. And when Hunter's not in there, I'm like, okay, I'm going to go sneak into Drews and Ellie's room and sleep there for a few nights. And then I can always decide to go back into Abby and Bella's room and sleep in there for a few nights. So I love being the middle child to always be accepted everywhere.
And she's so flexible. I think one of the things about a middle child is that they're flexible.
Yeah.
They're so willing to go with the flow. Like, not that they don't have an opinion or don't want to choose one way or another, but all right, cool. All options sound awesome.
Yeah.
So I'm good with any of it.
Yeah, for sure.
And so I've noticed with especially Crissy is yeah, there was a season. I remember last year, and we probably talked about this a little bit on the podcast, when the big girls were moving into their freshman year of high school and they had the opportunity to try out for the different sports teams. You were kind of bummed. Yeah. Because you weren't doing it with them.
Yeah, I was always with my two older sisters. We were the Lake House triplets and everything, so it was kind of hard being on different teams. And yes, it was fun hanging out with my younger siblings. Always fun to hang out with them, but it almost felt excluded from the older twin sports, and that was a bit hard. Yeah,
so she went through a season where actually when she didn't get to choose if she wanted to go up to the bigs or down to the littles, it was actually frustration to you.
Yeah, it was really frustrating.
And so this year, obviously, you're trying out for the same exact sports. And one of the blessings she said, again, it was so funny, is that the girls are joining, all the girls play for the high school golf team. And Abby and Bella had already known some friends and started, communicating with them. They're all going to try out and do their thing. And Crissy instantly had friends.
Yeah.
Because your siblings had friends.
Exactly. I instantly just had people, they knew people, so I kind of knew them. So it was just really easy for me to just get in the mesh of everything.
Same thing with tennis.
And it was really funny. There's a funny story. I think it was during tryouts or whatever. Crissy's talking to this one person, and she doesn't even know Crissy because she's a new coming freshman. But we had explained so much about this friend, we knew it. So Crissy's like, "Oh, she's my friend." But this friend, her name is Lacey, doesn't know who she is. So after they were talking for a while, she's like, "Okay, so what's your name and who are you?"
Yeah, and I'm like, oh yeah, you don't know me yet. I feel like I know you through conversations, but you don't know me yet. I'm Crissy. It's really nice to meet you, just back to the beginning.
And what a blessing what the coaches know you.
Yeah, exactly. Just another Francis girl, because Abby and Bella had a really good reputation for us last year. So just kind of getting on the bandwagon and just going with the flow.
Yeah, I think one of the things is being so thankful that your big sisters have done such a great job of representing the Francis girls.
For sure.
Well, the Francis, really.
Yeah.
And so even when they've had the opportunity to go do certain things, whether it's, been on a sports team, go babysitting, serve somewhere, get invited somewhere, automatically you're invited.
Yeah.
Because they just assume, they've been such a first class, you would be also.
Yeah, exactly, because they're my role models.
And what's neat is having those role models, right?
For sure.
What a blessing, again, to be in the middle position, that you have these role models to, go before you.
For sure. It's been really helpful.
And you get to be that for the next ones.
Yeah.
To keep that standard going.
Right. And I know how to take what my older siblings have done for me and do it for my younger siblings. And it's really cool having their role model and also being a role model. And it's just really cool being in the middle mix.
How do you feel like you were such a good role model to the younger crew?
I feel like it's really important being the example, especially at home, especially everywhere, really. But it starts at home. So how we do chores, how we treat our other siblings, how we give respect to our parents and to the other adults around us is really, I feel like a lot of what they've taken from me. I've really worked on my communication skills and how I talk, especially with my siblings. And I feel like they've really taken that from me. They've learned, okay, this is what we notice when we have these certain conversations and how to really take that and process it properly. And I feel like they've really gotten that example for me.
And how nice is it, since sometimes, you know, because the ages are so very close in our house.
Yeah.
That sometimes, you know, the younger kids will even come to you to discuss things because you're so close to them, yet you're still a mentor.
Yeah, and it's really cool. So me and my brother will sleep in our room together, and we'll just have like conversations that maybe we wouldn't have with other people. I don't know, for any reason. It's cool to have that connection, and we can just feel free to have that conversation with each other. And it's really cool because he'll be willing to ask me questions, and I'd ask him questions. And it doesn't really matter with age. It's just the wisdom that each of us gave each other is so important that being the middle children is like really special.
Yeah, and how neat is it too that when you are embracing where God placed you in our family, all the blessings that come with that.
For sure. Yeah. Good attitudes and everything. And I mean, all the extra perks that we get that we choose to see as being a middle child, we choose to not look at it negatively, to look at it in the most positive light that we can, because it is positive to be the middle child and all the different things that comes from that.
I mean, how many times has somebody said, oh, you're the middle child. Oh, that must stink.
And I'm like, nope, not at all. I'm a lot of times I'm like, no, I love being the middle child. And they just kind of like, okay.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things that, you know, again, the power of the word, right?
Yeah.
So important to speak what you want, what you feel. But like, in your opinion, like it has been such an amazing journey being the middle child.
Exactly.
That you speak up about it all the time. And so several times your friends or something be like, oh, I'm the middle too. Doesn't it stink? And you right away say,
nope, doesn't stink for me.
no. And you're like, I enjoy it. And this is why.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think it's neat, you know, again, when you kind of look at where your kids are, you can get, you know, almost like guilty thinking, oh gosh, you know, that child feels this way, or they don't feel seen, or they don't feel heard, or they feel like they're treated, you know, this way, or I put way too much pressure on the oldest, or not enough encouragement in the middles, or I don't, you know, I baby the littles too much, or whatever it may be. And for us, we always took each child individually. You know, we saw them as individuals, their personalities, their likes, their dislikes, their gifts. And that's why I think it's so important to make sure you make time for your kids individually. Dating them, taking them on a car ride, going for a walk, working out with them, you know, running errands, whatever it may be, so that you can see the individuality of each child.
Yeah.
And I know that's how you feel when you get that chance to speak one-on-one with us.
For sure. Yeah.
I think it's encouraging when you see your kids out and about in the world feeling so confident because you've taken the time to show them how great it is to be who they are in the family.
Mm-hmm. And every little deposit in their little bank accounts count.
And making sure that if any of your children are starting to think, gosh, I don't know if I like being where I am in our family, having those conversations.
For sure. Just showing them all the pros and even understanding where they may feel like it's a con. Like, yes, I understand, but all the pros so outweigh the little things that you may dislike that I would keep my words right, and I would keep my mindset right, and just view the positivity in the place that you are.
And discussing it. If there were ever issues, I mean, I remember sometimes there'd be challenges where you wish sometimes that you were right where the twins were at, you know, or maybe you didn't have to do what a little had to do, you know, and if we just talk about it, oh my gosh, so many positive conversations come out of it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. All right. Well, should we talk to the bigs next?
Yeah.
All right.
Hey everyone, thanks for listening and thanks for your love and support. We hope that today's episode added tremendous value to you and your family. It would mean so much to us if you would partner with us on our mission of helping parents around the globe raise champion children in this crazy world.
To do so, simply take a moment to like and share this podcast with everyone in your network. See you next time.